Welcome to the very first episode of Connectwell Power Talks, where we speak with industry leaders, innovators, and domain experts shaping the future of industrial automation and electrical engineering. I'm Sandeep Saheta, Managing Director at Connectwell, where we've been building reliable, high-quality terminal blocks and interfacing products for over 4 decades. But in recent years, we've also been focused on building tools beyond hardware, tools that help our customers, partners, design faster, build smarter, and stay digitally connected. From online product configurators and downloadable CAD and 3D models, we're investing in platforms that reduce design cycle time and improve user experience. We're also proud to be one of the very few Indian component manufacturers that have our entire range listed on the Eplan data portal, making it easier than ever for design engineers to work with our products digitally. And that brings us to today's conversation with someone who's played a pivotal role in India's CAD evolution, helping revolutionize the way electrical engineers and designers work. He's a trailblazer in the world of digital transformation in the electrical industry, leading the charge at Eplan India as the managing director. With a passion for innovation and deep understanding of the digital landscape, not just shaping the future of electrical design, he's making it more efficient, smarter, and better connected for engineers across the globe. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Umesh Pai. Great to have you with us, Umesh.
Thank you.
Umesh, you've been associated with the CAD industry for a fairly long time. Can you tell us a little bit more about how in India we have been adopting to CAD platforms?
Yeah, Sandeep, thank you first of all for having me here. It's great to be part of this series that you guys are starting. For CAD industry, I started way back in 2000. From that, today we have come a long way.
True.
The questions like, which platform should I use, whether it should be Unix, Windows, from there, look what we are talking today. The requirements there were completely different. The biggest challenge that at that point in time, way back in 2000 we had was the computing power. Today we just don't talk about computing power. We assume that things will naturally happen. So we have had a long way. Earlier it was very difficult, user interface, those things were the challenge. Today, what can I get from the software is the biggest, question that our customer ask. 2D to 3D was a big transformation. Today we don't even talk about 2D to 3D. 3D is a given. So we have come a long way. But now with the artificial intelligence and things like that, it is going to be a much more exciting, way ahead.
True, and I can completely agree with you. 3D adoption is universal, not just on electrical design software, but you extend it to mechanical systems, mechanical designs, everywhere 3D is a given. Well, Umesh, that brings me to my next part. Why should Indian control panel manufacturers adopt Eplan into their design ecosystem? What benefits do they get outside it?
Why Eplan? Even before that I answer that question, I would say why adopt a CAD system at all? At the fundamental level. Any place, whether it is electrical, mechanical, the way why we ask our customers to look at a design tool is what we call in our lingo as downstream application. But in a common man's term, what am I going to do with the data that I'm building in a tool?
Sure.
Now, whether, usually we do this to manufacture at the shop floor. That is the ultimate goal which we do. But is that the only goal? No. We have multiple goals. We want to reduce the errors that we make. We want to save in the shop floor. Ultimately, can I also automate the shop floor? So these are the questions that our customer come with while they want to make a decision with a tool, whether it is Eplan or any other. Now with Eplan, what we say is you can do all these aspects in a much more efficient way. A 3D panel, whether it is through a 2D or through a 3D, depends on, can you standardize, can you modularize your systems, can you automate? But these things happen over a period of time, or it has a roadmap. It cannot be done overnight. Customers usually become very ambitious when they start with, but at the first problem or a first challenge, they usually stop it. The key lies in making your end in mind very clear. Where do you really want to go, and drive all the processes that are required to do. So, the long answer short, why should they do? They should do it to reduce cost, make it more efficient, and ultimately automate both their design as well as their
and system, and not forget error-free.
Yes.
Yeah. So we also come across similar challenges when we are offering our solutions, and the more digital we get, the better our end results. Faster go-to-market strategies can be adopted. We've seen this over and over again that customers, and especially control panel manufacturers who have adopted Eplan, have systematically adopted best practices. They are kind of sometimes forced, to do work in a certain way, and in the end, you have delighted customers. So I couldn't, disagree with you, or on the contrary, agree with you more on this topic. Umesh, one more question. I know Eplan has been an enabler for Industry 4.0. Can you elaborate a little bit more about this?
Yeah, Industry 4.0, you can name it as Internet of Things. Some people call it as Industrial Internet of Things. A bit late in the cycle today, maybe when where everyone is talking about artificial intelligence and things like that, but still is a very important aspect of what we call as mass customization.
Okay.
What are we actually trying to do? What is the industry actually trying to do? They're trying to give the benefit of mass production as well as a customized product to their customers.
Okay.
Now, what you need for this is something we call that as a digital twin.
Right.
In this, Eplan plays actually a role of a enabler. I call this as necessary condition but not sufficient condition.
Okay.
What do I mean by that? What I mean is Eplan helps all our customers in building the digital twin. But we don't build any application for Industry 4.0 as such. There are automation companies which build application based on the digital twin that is built using Eplan. Let me give you an example. For example, if Volkswagen is coming up with a new plant,
Sure.
they want it to be a Industry 4.0 compliant plant. So they tell all their suppliers, whether it is system integrator, whether it is equipment supplier, or component and system suppliers like you, that all of their components should be in a particular platform.
Sure.
In this case, for example, electrical and automation, it is Eplan.
Okay.
Now, it is not only Eplan, but there are multiple systems that are there which should come together and talk to each other. So you have not only a physical factory, you also have a digital factory. And on this digital factory, then you build all the applications, whether it is preventive maintenance, predictive maintenance, or changing the color of the car. Everything can be configured, but you need to have a very necessary condition of having the plant built on a particular digital platform, which then can be manipulated or configured for the customer to make use.
Sorry. So would it be safe that if I were to take it into layman terms, and especially I'm coming more from the electrical control panel industry, one of our prime users, also yours, that even if I'm a small panel builder, and I have certain methods of doing my panel design, would engineering, would a digital twin benefit me as a small panel company? Yeah.
It does. It definitely does. But of course, you have to apply your judgment whether it really, is a high value item or not. But if you are mass producing the same panel, definitely a digital twin have an enormous amount of value. But if you are doing it one time, I would say be judicious. How complex the panel is, based on that you can use a digital twin. Look, what digital twin does, it helps you to visualize the panel as such.
Sure.
And how exactly you place the various components, and then look at the heat transfer things, and how do you design your fan and other things.
Sure.
But if you are doing it for only once, might not be, the engineering effort may be much higher than the return that you are going to get. If it is more than 5, definitely, because you make one mistake, you repeat it 5 times.
And Umesh, I can safely say a lot of our viewers and customers, end users, they're building more than one cabinet.
And they should opt for digital.
Absolutely. So Umesh, now let's talk about the buzzword, AI. How far are you guys with AI in your journey? How does Eplan perceive AI, and how far away on a realistic method are we away from a day that AI does everything for us? Yeah.
AI, I know, after the generative AI in 2022, it has become even more acute, I should say. But Eplan started this journey quite ahead, We started actually in 2018.
Okay.
We started a division called IDA, that is Artificial Intelligence and Data Analytics.
Good.
But 2022 was, new for everyone. But so it only rather made it early. So we have about 5-6 use cases. Now, what can AI do? I always usually say this as, blind people describe in English. It can do anything. But practically for our customers, there are about 5 or 6 use cases which we showcased during Hanover Messe this year.
Okay.
Along with partnership with Microsoft as well as with Siemens. One of them being, the normal, everyone does, the help, right? The chatbot agent, which should be available anytime soon. Second is the, 3D panel layout.
Okay.
Which can it do automatically. That's a work in progress. That should happen quite quickly. The third UI case will be user case would be quality. You have the best practices, you have the projects that are already built in. Does it match? Can we do something better? It's mostly what we call it as guided indicative.
Got it.
Then the fourth one being legacy data. Project, there are other legacy data which can you make use of it. And then we get into really the, advanced version of it. Can AI do everything automatically? Maybe it will take some time, but I believe it is an inevitable journey.
So do you think design times have been crushed?
Not yet, but will be. The question is when.
Okay.
So Eplan as a policy will always announce applications when they're ready. And we being the leader in this industry, I think the onus is on us to really set the proper framework and things like that. And we are doing extremely, we are quite ahead of the curve, I would say, and should be available anytime soon.
Got it. And one of the challenges that Connectwell we face, because obviously we are also in this brilliant world where all of a sudden we have a young design engineer happy to go on generative AI platforms and in all good faith try to quicken his work or his or her work or the output, influence the output. One of the key areas where we are really concerned is data security and how safe or how secure, and I'm sure it is already, Eplan, would the data security policies be in effect, even if users do end up sharing.
I would say it is best in class. Basically, data security comes from the cloud ratio of applications. So we are compliant with all the regulatory requirements. But as you know, it is an evolving field.
Yeah.
And with the AI, you need to know as much knowledge as possible. But Eplan, if not very secure, it will be really, really, customers need not worry about their data.
For sure. Great. Umesh, why should more companies like Connectwell, I mean, we already have been on the platform for quite a while, I would say years, and have benefited tremendously. Why would you say that other Indian companies should quickly adopt a digital CAC platform like Eplan, and what would be benefits to them?
Benefits are actually enormous. The data that you put on a platform like us, Eplan, will facilitate the designers to, without any mediation in between and human errors, download it in their system and use it. Now, the digital twin that we spoke about depends on the integrity of the data, right? And if the supplier himself gives the data, then there is no doubt about the quality of data. And then the data keeps changing. Now, if you imagine the modern world where you take a catalog, you rebuild that in the system, it takes a lot of time. And while doing it, so you may make mistakes, and these mistakes will be known only in the shop floor.
Correct.
And the price that your customer will pay is much higher. So what happens is, if you are not there on a platform like ours, most likely the supplier will end up not being used. So that is where the effect for the supplier comes. What is in it for the customer? One, it makes it quicker. Second, it also helps him in updating his product lines over a period of time. It is automated then.
Correct.
So it is very, very crucial for us as a platform provider, and people like you to connect together and collaborate very closely. It's very important, and it is necessary for us to keep good care of our customers.
Sure. And I can absolutely resonate with this. We have also seen end users, come up to us, and our sales guys, for example, they love the fact that we are on Eplan. Yeah, it's already a facilitation tool. There are lots and lots of companies, global MNCs that already use Eplan, and it is a very simple thing wherein you appear as a library part in Eplan. Obviously, the data accuracy that you mentioned for us, and you touched upon a very important topic there, because as manufacturers, we constantly upgrade our products, and all of that data, that digital data, needs to be flowing to the users. And what better way than Eplan to seamlessly have that workflow go in and absolutely on the digital twin.
And there are more business models getting built on this digital data itself.
Absolutely.
So that the gap or the barrier between the supplier, end user, and the platform actually crushes rather.
Yeah. No, we recognize that, and that's why we are also.
Thank you very much. It's actually partnership.
Absolutely. It's a win-win for both organizations for sure. It's a win for the customer. Yeah, absolutely. Most important, the customer benefits. So for us, that's perfect. One other topic. What are the challenges? Yeah, and twofold. The question is twofold. One, what would be a relevant challenge for a new user, and what is the challenge that Eplan is facing? How can we together as industry push this topic forward, where we have more customers come in and proactively come up and say, hey, sign me up.
Yeah. As you would know, the biggest challenge India faces today is our skills.
Yeah.
Skill. The gap between academia and the industry, instead of shrinking, rather is widening. Government of India is also spending a lot of money and effort in terms of building the skill, but it's a challenge that industry has to face together. Like you would see, a lot of GCCs are coming up in India, global competency centers. They need trained automation engineers. I would not say Eplan engineers,
sure,
but trained automation engineers. So it has been our effort for last 4 or 5 years now. Work with industry like yours. I visited your factory. It's such a beautiful factory. New mechanical engineer and electrical engineer visits. I'm sure he will get I know you guys are doing a lot in this field. We'll have to only enhance this collaboration further. We are working with the academia, and we are also working with our industry partners to shrink this gap and make it more available for both the industry and the student. So that the job also is available for the student, and the trained manpower is available for the industry.
Sure.
But this is a challenge that will not be solved overnight, to take sustained effort.
Absolutely.
But that is where
and that's where we are also as Connectwell pushing academia wherever we can influence people that hey, upgrade the course material. Yeah, industry is shifting. We're talking about AI. We're talking about generative language. All of these topics are relevant. We need skilled manpower as well. Yeah, digital tools to aid in quicker, easier adoption of current practices. But having said that, academia and especially from an India context, unlike Europe or North America, our industry university nexus is weak. There's still
it's a work in progress. Work in progress. It's just for a long time. Yeah. Hopefully, we
push that
as
topic
much as
ahead.
possible.
So via this channel, we would also like to urge students, academia, whoever is watching this, hey, if you want to upgrade your course material, you want to know more about how digital platforms are relevant, are taking center stage in evolving new systems, absolutely reach out to Eplan, reach out to Connectwell. We would be happy to engage with you, work with you,
and your institutions to see what we can do together.
Absolutely. Umesh, it was wonderful talking to you. Yeah, so I hope we catch up more on such conversations. Yeah, all the best.
Thank you.